So, Pat, how would you like to play Three Question Thursday?
Absolutely. Got to do it.
All right. Okay. Question about exercise. The other day you said something. I said, did you ever bring exercise back in? And what did you say?
So I never took it out. I had been an exerciser before, and I've maintained it. Um, so my husband and I, well, let me reword this. My husband drags me to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Hey, he doesn't have to drag me too hard, but
Okay.
I so appreciate that I've got my exercise buddy and we go together. And that's one of our let's stay healthy as we in our retirement as we age. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to lead me to the second question. You're retired now. Are you
Yeah.
doing any traveling? What do you do about that for food?
Oh, well, so actually we have a 3 week trip coming up in about a month. Um, and um, we rent um, uh, places that have a kitchen typically.
Okay.
I have been known to microwave a meal in the hotel room, but we eat out about 50-50 for dinner. Most of our breakfasts are in, most of our lunches are in. Um, or my food I'm cooking. And what I have to be really careful about with eating out with traveling is not relaxing too much.
Mm.
And what I find is if I look over a menu, and it's anywhere in the country that we can travel to. So we don't always research a menu or we don't always have the option. But I can look at a menu and I could say, that looks really good. And if I ordered that, I could be really good and only eat half of that. Borderline,
Sure.
not quite there, but there. I stopped doing that because if
Yeah.
it's on the plate, I'm going to eat it. So, um, and I've gained weight from trips by allowing that to happen. So, I I do struggle a little bit with I'm tired of a salad or I'm tired of a plain meat, but I back up and I say, but that's the gift back to myself. I'm
Mm.
really not it. And I have learned that to live with sometimes with the philosophy of a meal is sometimes just there to fill your belly. And you get, and if I take that, do I want an optimal fabulous meal out of the package for every meal? It's helped me to recognize it's okay that that was a mundane meal, um, because it was back to what am I doing that's treating myself well.
And when you think about all the fabulous food, the fabulous plan that we're on, the fabulous food, when you say a mundane meal, that really probably looks pretty good compared to the wild assortment of stuff we used to have.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I feel good afterwards.
Right, with
I,
no
I had to,
stomach ache and no,
yeah,
what do you call that stuff? The backup in your throat, you
yeah,
know what I mean,
yeah,
at night? I
yeah.
mean, I had that anyway.
I had to chuckle because one of my sons said to me, "Mom, do you get tired of eating the same food all the time?" And I think I kind of
Like what?
looked at him like, "What are you talking about?" Because the if I feel like my choices have expanded,
Oh, yes.
um, more than I ever expected it to, because my taste buds are different.
And it's such beautiful food.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I gotta ask you this third
Okay,
question
sure.
because you you were saying I'm like, so what do you do like to keep track or whatever? Because you're not writing your food down, which this is fine. I mean, you're committing to a bright day. Everybody does their own thing. I pack, you do that. But you said you have the chart on your cupboard door. Okay.
Yep, I have the chart of what the how many. ounces of each of the food and the different food categories. And I have that on my kitchen door. I've written down the ones that aren't on that. And I've memorized how much food I can have. I eat a breakfast and lunch. It's a choice of probably 3 or 4 different things I have most of the time. It's dinner that changes. And I pretty much have it memorized. Here's my quantities. And if I don't, I've got my um, chart right on the door so I don't have to go digging for it.
But you have some things on that chart that I never saw before. All these
So
conversions.
so I do batch cooking.
Yeah.
And I use my Instant Pot. So I had to figure out how much dry beans or lentils are in one of my batch recipes. And then they talk about only weigh your vegetables after you cook them.
Right.
Well, I'm
So
putting
how
them
do
in
you
a
figure that
pot with
out?
everything. So what I do is I reduce. So I weigh all my food when I'm putting it in my pot. And I reduce my vegetables by 10 to 15% because I figured that would be the shrinkage you'd get if you were sauteing it or cooking it another way. And then I take my whole batch and I measure that whole batch and divide it by however many portions I put in at the beginning, and there's my portions. So I don't
Did you
worry about
figure
whether.
out, didn't you figure out like how much dry beans would
So I
equal?
use an average of 2.4 ounces for dried beans and lentils per 6 ounces of a cooked portion.
Okay, so that's with an
Um,
Instapot.
right? And that's not perfect because if you went through and looked at what each different type of bean was, you'd find there'd be a variance, but that's an average. And that's taking that perfection out and putting in it works. Um,
Peace, sanity.
absolutely.
That's what that's
Yep.
called.
Yep.
Well, Pat, again, thank you so much for your willingness to share your story. Thanks for all the great information, inspiration, and thank you for playing 3 Question Thursday.
Well, thank you so much again. This was great. And thanks to my friends who are here. And
Look forward to
forward
seeing you
to
all in September.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Stay
Thank you.
bright.